Hey guys, it's Chrispy Driver, and today we're going to be talking about Carlos Sainz Sr.
Please tell me this will lead to Hardee's.
What could you possibly be talking about? This is a car channel.
Well, in other parts of the country, Hardee's is called
Carlos Jr., not Carlos Sr. Are you hungry? Go get a snack. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about the rally legend Carlos Sainz Sr. From his humble beginnings in a go-kart to his amazing victories at Dakar, his career has spanned decades, and I'm going to bring you up to date. So sit back and buckle up. Let's get ready for Chrispy Driver Presents Deep Drives, Carlos Sainz Sr. Carlos Sainz Sr. was born in Madrid, Spain on April 12, 1962, and is a successful rally car driver. Sainz is his father's surname, and Sr. is his mother's family name. In his youth, he played football, squash, and tennis. He even became a Spanish squash champion at 16, and he was offered a trial at the Real Madrid Football Club. He didn't decide to make his living in motorsport immediately. He actually made it to the second year of law school before getting behind the wheel full-time at the age of 18. In an interview with the Motorsport Week before the 2024 Dakar rally race in Saudi Arabia, Sainz explained why he chose motorsports instead of continuing his success as a squash player or pursuing a career with the Real Madrid Football Club. He responded that he has always loved cars, and he even had a small go-kart that he had messed with. When he was 11, his sister met a rally driver that she would eventually marry, and he started following the races. Then, his brother, who is 4 years older, began rally racing too. As soon as he got his license, Sainz began competing because that was his true passion. He does think that the athleticism of other sports helped him with the racing. He began rally racing in 1980. In 1986, he finished runner-up in a Group B Renault 5 Turbo in the Spanish Rally Championship. He won it in the following season in a Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. For those of you that don't know, Group B Rally was a set of regulations for the World Rally Championship used between 82 and 86, and it was considered the highest class in the WRC. It is remembered for having the fastest, most technologically advanced, and the single most powerful rally cars ever conceived. But it was also remembered for the many tragic deaths that happened during its running. Between the non-existent crowd control and the hyper-fast cars, death was a common occurrence for both driver, co-driver, and the crowd. This led to the banning of the Group B rally cars in 1986. In 1988, he was co-driven by Luis Moya, and they remained a great team for the next 15 years. He left Ford in 1989 to join Toyota Team Europe in Cologne, Germany because Ford's rear-wheel drive was uncompetitive against the four-wheel drive cars. After a small learning curve with the Toyota that saw him have to retire 4 times early in the 1989 seasons, he quickly became a threat, finishing the season with 3 podiums in a row. He was for sure going to win the final event of the season, the RAC Rally, except that he suffered a mechanical failure in the final stages, leaving him in second place. In 1990, he drove his GT4 to win during the Acropolis Rally, the Rally New Zealand, at the Thousand Lakes Rally where he was the first non-Nordic driver to win, and at the RAC Rally. In the 1990 season, he also claimed his first World Rally Championship title, making him the second team to win since the creation of the Group A era in 1987. In 1991, he had to fight hard to defend his title, matching season wins with his former teammate turned rival, Lancia driver Kakkonen at 5 each, the first time in the history of the WRC. In his effort to stay on top in Australia, he rolled his Celica, leaving him in a neck brace. Even after the accident, Sainz led by 1 point going into the RAC Rally, the final race of the season. He lost in the end by 7 points to Kakkonen. 1992 was an exciting year for Sainz. He got married to his wife, Reyes Vasquez de Castro, and he got to his new ride for the season, the ST-185 Toyota Celica. This season would again go down to the final race, but this season it was a 3-way.
Oh, really? Well, rally racing just got my attention.
I cannot with you today. 3 teams were fighting for the championship at the RAC Rally in 1992. Sainz, Kakkonen, and Ariel. Going into the race, Sainz led by 2 points and 3 points respectively. Ariel had to retire and Sainz finished ahead of Kakkonen, giving him his second title. Attempting to make money on Sainz's success, Toyota sold a limited number of 440 Celica GT4 ST 185s in the UK. The cars included a plaque inside in the car with Sainz's name on it. Supposedly, Sainz still has a Celica GT4 Toyota gave him, and he drives it to the Real Madrid games when they are played at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. In 1993, Sainz and his wife welcomed their first child, a daughter named Bianca. In the 1993 season, Sainz went to Lancia, mostly because Toyota was going to be sponsored by Castrol and Sainz was personally sponsored by Repsol, creating a conflict of interest. Lancia had won the Manufacturers' Championship the previous 6 years. The Delta was an aging design and Lancia had only done minor technical developments, but had assured Sainz that they would continue. Unfortunately, the Delta had a hard time being competitive with the new cars in the pool. In the 93 season, Sainz landed on the podium twice, both second-place finishes, one at Acropolis and one at San Remo. San Remo Rally later disqualified him and his teammate for using illegal fuel. That season, he finished 8th. It was won by Kakkonen in a Toyota. Lancia withdrew from the sport altogether at the end of the 1993 season. With his rival now winning for his former team and his current team no longer in the sport, Sainz was looking for a new home. A home that he had found in Subaru for the next 2 seasons, where he had replaced Vatanen. He played an important role in developing the Impreza, new at the time, getting it to a place where it could successfully compete with the Toyota and Ford. He and the other Subaru team were often faster than the Fords, but Toyota still won the manufacturer's title. The driver's title would be decided by the final rally, which went to Ariel. In September of 1994, Sainz officially became a senior. When his son was born, Carlos Sainz Sr. would grow up to follow his father's racing footsteps, racing in Formula One. He raced with Ferrari for the last few seasons and will start his first season with Williams this year. Personally, I miss the days when he was in a McLaren with Lando Norris. Their bromance was legendary. In 1995, still with Subaru, Sainz won 3 rallies, Monte Carlo, Portugal, and Catalunya, but only after the team instructed his teammate, Colin McRae, to slow down and let Sainz win. This led to a disagreement between the drivers. For the RAC rally last in the season, McRae and Sainz were tied for the lead in the title race. McRae won by 36 seconds. This secured Subaru's manufacturer win, with all 3 of their teams clean sweeping the podium: McRae, Sainz, and Richard Burns, sandwiching him between 2 of the most legendary rally drivers to date. 2 gentlemen who made rally racing what it is today, and most definitely the subjects of future deep dive videos. Sainz returned to Ford for the 1996 and 1997 seasons. Originally, he was going to go back to Toyota, but they had to be banned for the 1996 season due to the cheating scandal involving the Celica's turbo restrictor. With Ford, he was able to get back to winning. He won the very first rally in Indonesia. He also had 5 more podium finishes, leading to him finishing 3rd in the Drivers' World Championship, behind McRae and Subaru in 2nd. The following season, the championship results were the same: Mitsubishi with Mäkinen in 1st, and Subaru with McRae in 2nd, and Ford with our guy Sainz in 3rd. He did win at Indonesia again and at Acropolis. He also won the Race of Champions at the end of the season. In 1998, Sainz and Reyes again welcomed a daughter, Anna. For the 1998 and 1999 seasons, he finally returned to Toyota. Ariel and Sainz partnered, and together they helped further the Corolla World Rally Car project. It had been started in '97 to help with the embarrassment of being excluded from the championship the second to the last race of the '95 season. Their first outing in 1998, Sainz won. He also won at New Zealand later in the season. At the final rally, Mäkinen's chance at the title was lost when he had to retire his car on the first day of the event. All Sainz had to do was finish 4th to win the title. Unfortunately, with only 300 meters, 915 feet, left to the finish, he also was forced to retire the car due to a mechanical issue. Mäkinen and Mitsubishi took both titles after all. The 1999 season was less eventful. Toyota did win the manufacturer's title at the end, but they were beginning to look into Formula One. Sainz did podium 8 times, but no wins in the '99 season. He finished 5th in the title points. For the 2000, 2001, and 2002 season, Sainz returned to Ford again. McRae was there now too. Sainz won the first ever Cyprus Rally and finished 3rd in the points. 2001 was a rough season. He only podiumed 5 times with no victories and a point finish of 6th place. McRae did win 3 times but crashed out at the Rally GB, the final rally of the season. In 2002, Sainz won at Rally Argentina, but only because 1st and 2nd place were disqualified. He finished 3rd in the points, 1 point ahead of McRae. From 2003 to 2005, Sainz was with Sintra. He and McRae were frozen out at Ford, so they both joined Sintra in 2003. Sainz brought Sintra Zara WRC their first gravel win at the rally in Turkey. He finished 3rd in the points that season. For the 2004 season, Sainz scored his final World Rally win at the Rally Argentina. Sainz announced his retirement during the Rally Catalonia. He was considered the best rally driver in history by other drivers, co-drivers, and official team directors. He finished 4th in the points after missing the final rally because of an accident earlier in the race weekend. In 2005, he did drive for 2 rallies for Citroën, placing 4th and 3rd respectively. In the interview with Motorsport Week, Sainz explained that he left the World Rally Championship in 2005 to pursue other goals, one of which was to become the first Spaniard to win the Dakar in a car.
Wait, those are different? And isn't he like 43 now? I mean, I don't know a lot about racing, but most of the famous drivers I know of are much younger than that.
For those of you that don't know, the World Rally Championship, or WRC, is rally racing on mostly paved roads with varied terrain, and Dakar is an entirely off-road across large distances and diverse and extreme terrain. Dakar is much more endurance-focused and far more extreme than the WRC. Dakar events also span 2 weeks and are often in the desert. As for his age, the average age of rally drivers can vary widely, but Sobislaw Szata was the oldest WRC driver at 91. So I guess in racing, age can be just a number.
Wonder what that guy's story is.
We have a topic for today, but feel free to look into him for the future. Now back to Sainz. In 2006, Sainz drove a Volkswagen with Andreas Schultz as his co-driver in that year's Dakar Rally. He tried again in the Volkswagen with Michael Perrin as his co-driver. He ran to be the vice president of the football club, the Real Madrid, that year. He was denied. In 2007, he won the FIA Cross Country Rally World Cup with Volkswagen. In 2008, he won the Central Europe Rally, what was supposed to be the Dakar Rally, but had to be moved due to a threat of a terrorist attack. In January 2009, he was leading at Dakar until he crashed in the 12th stage. Later that year, he won the Silkway Rally with Volkswagen. In 2010, Sainz was again at Dakar, being co-driven by Lucas Cruz. He won the event and also won at Silkway Rally for the 2nd time. In 2011, he finished 3rd at Dakar. Sainz was asked to be a part of the Volkswagen WRC project, a brand new 2-wheel drive. He got to drive it for the very first few kilometers and test drove it on gravel. This was the car that he drove in Dakar in 2013. He won the 1st stage and had to retire in the 6th stage due to a variety of issues resulting in engine failure. He later said that it was worth coming here with this concept. I hope that the experience will be useful for the future, even if I'm not sure whether I'll come back. He did come back to Dakar in 2014, but he had to retire after a wreck on stage 10. In 2015, Sainz returned to the Dakar in a Peugeot 2008 DKR. He crashed and was forced to retire. In 2016, he retired from the lead when his Peugeot gearbox broke. In 2017, he had to retire after his Peugeot rolled during the 4th stage. And finally, in 2018, he took his 2nd Dakar win with the Peugeot team. Well, if at first you don't succeed, play it out in real life. Peugeot shut down its rally program, so Sainz moved to X-Ray to drive a Mini in the 2019 Dakar Rally. He finished 13th after putting it in a large hole during the 3rd stage. He did win for the 3rd time at Dakar in 2020 with his co-driver Lucas Cruz. They had 4 stage wins before finally taking the whole thing with a lead of 6 minutes and 21 seconds. He was back in 2021 taking 3 stage wins before finishing 3rd overall. In 2022, Sainz joined Audi and won his 4th Dakar in 2024, making him the oldest Dakar winner at 61. He won in a hybrid-powered Audi RZQ e-tron. Recently, at the 2025 Dakar Rally, Sainz was forced to retire. He He suffered a crash in his Ford Raptor that damaged the roll cage severely enough that the FIA would not allow him to continue. In 2020, Sainz joined with QEV Technologies to create Axonia Sainz XE team to participate in the Extreme E's, the all-electric SUV off-road racing series first season. Sainz and Leia Sands were the drivers. Debuting in 2021 at the Desert X Prix, the team made their first podium finish at the Arctic X Prix and finished 6th in the points overall. With the same driver lineup in 2022, the team finished with 2 podiums, Desert and Copper X Prix, and 3rd overall. Intending to maintain the same driver lineup for 2023, the team hit a snag when Sainz crashed and suffered several spinal fractures at the Dakar rally, and Matthias Ekstrom had to sub in for the season. They started strong at the Desert X Prix, having the fastest qualifying time, got a super sector, and made the podium in 2nd place. They won the Extreme E, the first race win, and won for the 2nd time at the Island X Prix 2. Unfortunately, the team suffered a DNF in the last round, costing them the championship. In 2024, Ekstrom went to McLaren. Carlos Sainz Sr. is the first Spaniard to win the Dakar, and he has won it 4 times. He is also the first to win with 4 manufacturers and the first to win it with a hybrid-powered car. He is considered one of the greatest rally racers ever, and with a good reason. He raced with rally legends like Colin McRae and Richard Burns and drove some of the fastest cars that will ever exist in rally. And his legacy continues in his son, Carlos Sainz Jr., who has made a name for himself amongst some of the greatest drivers in Formula One. Despite his age and some of the difficult crashes, he is still out there racing and winning titles. His unstoppable racing spirit is extremely admirable, and it gives me hope that maybe when I am old and gray, I may still have a shot at driving an incredible car to the top step of a podium. He is truly an amazing driver. I hope to see him continue racing for many years to come. Well, that's it for our video on Carlos Sainz Sr. What were your thoughts? Does he deserve more attention like McRae and Burns receive? Or in your opinion, is he a mid-tier driver who just got lucky? Let me know in the comments though. But if you like this video, please leave me a like. If you subscribe, just know that I appreciate it. But until next time, this has been Chrispy Driver, and you have yourself a wonderful day.